My name's Jeff Morris. I used to work for Pinnacle and Pacific back in the day, and I work for a hobby website called sportscollectorsdaily.com. You can read all my stuff there. And the irony of this is that I played college football at Carleton. I bounced around the CFL a bit. 7 years, I never got in a game. So I am the worst player in CFL history, and I'm going to interview the best player in CFL history, Warren Moon. So how cool is that, worlds colliding? So let's give it up for Warren Moon. Nice to meet you. Yeah, sit here, yeah. Your mic should be on. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm beside Warren Moon. How cool is this? The first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to play a little show and tell with Warren, because I have my Jago CFL book here, and I don't know if you've ever seen these. This is a 1982 test run. This is you here, and I got some teammates over here. Wilkie's there, Brian Kelly. So this was a test run made by Jago in 1982, and then if you look over here, we have your actual first card. This is the most iconic card in CFL history. This is your rookie card. I'm just going to hold it up for the crowd, but while you're talking, you came to the CFL when there were no cards, but finally on your way out, there were cards. What was it like the first time you saw yourself on a football card?
It was pretty cool. There's no question about it, because I had collected baseball cards when I was a young kid, and also football cards in the United States, but I had never seen myself on a card before, and to finally see yourself on one is it's pretty cool to see that you made it that far, that you have your own card. If you're on the box of a cereal box, or if you have your own card, you've pretty much made it in sports.
That must have been so exciting. Now, you've been asked this question a million and a zillion and a half times, but I'm going to ask you in a different way. People always talk about you and how you opened the door for black quarterbacks, and you're a trailblazer. But when you came to Canada, Condor Chalaway from Tennessee was already here. Matthew Reed from Grambling was already here. Jimmy Jones from USC. Chuck Ely from Toledo, who may have been the best black quarterback ever if he had a chance. Did you know about these guys in Canada, and what did you know about the Canadian Football League?
Well, that's basically what I knew about the Canadian Football League, was that a number of African-American quarterbacks that I kind of idolized when I was growing up in high school and that had gone to Canada to play, but we didn't know much about what they were doing up there because there wasn't a lot of coverage about the league. But I did know that they went up. I did know they were having success, and that was one of the things that made me feel comfortable about making that jump myself, is that there were already guys there doing it, getting an opportunity, and that's all I was really looking for, was an opportunity to play the position. Those guys were given an opportunity up here, and then I was given an opportunity up here, so I jumped at the opportunity.
When you got down to the NFL, were there some guys you looked around at, some of your old teammates, and said, wow, this guy should be down here, like maybe Larry Highbaugh or Jim Germany or one of those? Did you see anyone that was like, they should be in this league?
Are you saying they felt like I should have been
No, the guys that you played with in Edmonton that you think should have been in the NFL.
Oh, there's no question about it. Like Ed Jones was a guy who definitely could have played down here. Joe Holloman on the corner definitely could have played down here. And those guys had their chances, and they didn't, I think they didn't make different teams, so they came up here, and then they were happy once they got up here. They weren't even that excited about maybe trying to make that leap again, because they were so satisfied with what they were doing here in Canada. So there were a lot of guys whose game fit this game better as far as the style of play up here in Canada than it did in the United States. And they were making good livings, and they really enjoyed playing up here. So they really didn't think about going back.
After you made it, you must have had a lot of people come and thank you, saying that you opened the door for them. Randall Cunningham has talked about it. Jeff Blake has talked about it. You look at the '99 draft with Dante Culpepper and Achilles Smith and Donovan McNabb. Henry Burris played up here, wore number 1 as a tribute to you. So did Casey Printers when he played up here. Do any of these guys ever come up to you and talk to you and thank you? And when they do, how does that make you feel? Like, if I were you, I would totally bust into tears. I mean, it must be incredible to have that.
Yeah, I run into guys all the time, and I have a lot of friendships and mentorships with a lot of young quarterbacks in the league right now. And a lot of those guys kind of, even if they didn't know who I was or didn't see me play, their dads did, and their dads are the ones that kind of filled them in. Like C.J. Stroud, his dad used to make him watch film of my games to watch me throw the football and stuff like that. So, yeah, that stuff makes you feel like everything that you went through as a player was all worth it, you know? That even though I went through some tough times, even though I had a lot of people tell me that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, and had doors closed in my face, it's all worth it when you know that you've made an impact on a lot of other young players' lives. So I think that's one of my biggest contributions to the game, besides all my individual statistics or team success, is the fact that I was able to help open the doors and open the eyes of NFL owners, of NFL general managers, of NFL coaches, that we could play the position at a high level just like any other color. So that's something I'm very, very proud of. And every time I see these guys, you know, Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Dak Prescott, all the guys that are really excelling right now, every time I see these guys playing well, every time I see them, the money they're being made, that they're being paid, the endorsements that they're making, it just makes my chest stick out a little bit further that I help play an important part in that.
Oh, that's great. 2 quick questions before we wrap up. First one, you won 5 Grey Cups up here.
Yes, sir.
When you think back to a special place, what's the first thing you think of? Which Grey Cup, which moment?
Probably the one that I was in where I was starting. You know, me and Wilkie, we split time for those first couple. Then the third one, I was the actual starter. So that's when I knew there was more pressure on me, because now the focus is on me to keep this streak going.
That was the Hamilton?
You don't really
blowout?
realize, yeah, it was Hamilton, and I think in Toronto. But I think you don't really realize the impact that team had on sports until it was all over. That since that time, no professional team of any sport has won 5 championships in a row. We were the last ones to do it. And you don't realize that until later on down the road. And when you're in it, you're just trying to win every year. And every year that we played, we got everybody's best effort every time we went anywhere to play them, because they want to knock us off. So I think for us to play at that caliber for that long a period of time is something that you really don't appreciate until after your career is over.
You played with the Huskies in a bunch of Apple Cups. You played in the Rose Bowl. That was epic. I mean, I was just about to become a high school quarterback, and I don't know how many times I pretended I was you throwing to spider gains, and you had a better arm than me. You played in the Rose Bowl, but then you played 5 Grey Cups. Where does the Grey Cup fit as far as, you know, it's not obviously as big as the Rose Bowl, but in ways it's bigger. The Apple Cup was more regional. How do those games compare against each other?
You know, any championship team that you played on at any level, whether it was my Pop Warner level where I played junior football or high school or junior college, any championship team that you're on is special. So it doesn't matter what level it's at. If I would have won a Super Bowl, I don't think I would have put it any higher than my Grey Cup championships or my Rose Bowl championships. It's something special about being on a team where you guys go through all the things that you go through as a team, the relationships that you build, the adversity that you go through, and then finally you're the number one. You're the number one left at the end of the season. There's something so special about that, and there's a bonding that happens with that when I'm around those guys, whether it's my high school teammates or whether it's my Grey Cup teammates who I'm going to be with here next month for a reunion in Edmonton, it's so special that it's really hard to put in words what it means to be around those guys when you're with them, because we all know what we shared, and we're the only ones that know what we shared to get to that pinnacle. So no matter what level it is, it's all special.
One last thing. You know, I mentioned that I had tryout after tryout after tryout, never made it. I did make it as a referee and got to the Grey Cup that way. But having said that, the 2 worst moments in my life were in 1981. Rick Monday's home run against the Expos was the worst moment of my life. The second worst moment of my life, being from Ottawa, was Gary Hayes spider monkeying all over Tony Gabriel and then water skiing, pulling his jersey. Double pass interference. Do you remember that play, and what were your thoughts? That cost Ottawa a chance at winning the Grey Cup?
I have no recollection of that, and I think I was getting water or something at that time, so I didn't see it. So I don't really know what you're talking about.
I was going to Facebook message Tony and say that Warren Moon said you pushed off. It should have only been on you. So
No.
anyway, let's give it up for Warren Moon, everybody, a true legend here.
Thank you guys very much.
Warren, thank you so much. It's a real honor to meet you.
Yeah, I really appreciate this talk. I appreciate being here in Canada because this country means the world to me, and I wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for the support I got of this country when I came up here out of college. It started everything for my career, and I owe it to the Canadian people and to the Canadian fans for where I am today.
And folks, one last thing that I'll send a personal message to you. I have bone marrow cancer, and I'm not coming out of it. And we talk about heroes. This room is full of heroes. We're meeting our heroes. If you decide one day you want to be a hero, go give blood. I was kept alive by transfusions after my stem cell transplant for 24 transfusions. If you decide you want to be a hero, know about it. Go give blood, please. Thanks very much. Warren, thank you.
Thank you all. God bless you all.